Ho, 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 here we are live. You thought it wasn't going to happen, but here it is. Live at 5, well, a little after 5. I hope you all saw my warning message saying that, well, I would be late. Well, I'm thinking maybe no one saw it, and everyone's just assuming it's not happening because no one's showing up here on Break On Through. Oh, there we go. Aaron Thirsk is the first one to join us. Hey, Aaron. How's it going, my man? I'm going to let some people get in here, and I'll tell you who this guy is beside me. Mondo Braswell is here live. All right. Keep coming. There's Scott Leonard of the Rockin' Teenage Combo, Jethro Skull. All right, I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. This here is my buddy, Jeff Williams. He is the head honcho of Stop Talking, the band and the mandate.
And the mandate.
And the mandate. We have been friends for many, many, many years, and I know you're going, well, damn, Jeff Clayton, why you didn't have Jeff Williams on before now? He said, damn, Break On Through is going on 3 years. Okay, well, I'll tell you why. Because this is the show that Jeff Williams needs to be on, because I'm going to tell you what Jeff Williams' specialty is. Christmas. Always has been the whole time I've known him, probably always will be.
I wear this hat all year round.
Yep, all the time. He makes the guys at his job call him Yukon Cornelius. So that's how into Christmas he is, and that's why this is the perfect show for him. We're going to, I don't know, y'all are going to want to hear about some rock and roll. You're going to want to hear about some wrestling and stuff like that, but this is a Christmas show. We're going to talk about Christmas stuff.
Probably not going to be a lot of Gigi stories.
Not a lot of Gigi. There'll be a lot of people going, what would Gigi say? And to be honest with you, I don't care. But thank you for joining us. I see you coming in. Sorry I missed a bunch of names, but it's great to have you here, Jeff. Just scoot in just a little bit more. There you go, Hoss. There you go. There, that's good. Now, I'm telling you, Jeff Clayton. I'm not Jeff Clayton. Jeff Williams. See, I always say my own name on here, so it just rolled out when I said Jeff. Jeff Williams here used to throw what was considered some of the highlights of the Christmas season with his annual Christmas parties, when everyone looked forward to him, and then which one day out of nowhere he just pulled the rug out from under everyone, and he decided to devote his yearly gatherings to the pagan holiday Halloween.
Well, you know, I figure we pretty much we dominated the Christmas party scene.
Yeah,
we want to take on Halloween.
yeah,
and like anybody else is doing it.
yeah. you people hear that out there?
And I'll be honest with you, I would love to go to somebody's Christmas party.
Yeah.
Anybody's Christmas party. I would love to go to anybody's Christmas party. Even here in Charlotte. In South Charlotte.
South Charlotte would be a good place for a Christmas party, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Damn, I wonder if we could find somebody and talk them into it. Huh? Well, on top of being late, I have to also break the news that the First Lady will not be appearing with us tonight. And I know a lot of you are probably looking forward to that, but she is in charge of keeping little Coleman, the snapperine, under wraps, you know, making him so that he does not destroy the entire house while we're doing this. And so she just got off work because we're working class, and but I do have her list right here of her 10 favorite Christmas songs. Now, I didn't know if I was going to have this or not, because I also made my top 10 Christmas songs. But you know what we're going to do first? I had Jeff do something different, so that we ain't talking Christmas songs the entire time. I had Jeff make his top 10 list of favorite Christmas TV shows and or movies, which I know, but just him giving the list is going to result in a lot of discussion, because he and I are both big fans of the Christmas Carol story and all of its adaptations. So I'm sure there's going to be some conversation spurred on that. And, which I guess, company first, Jeff. You take it away. Let's hear your top 10 list of Christmas shows and films.
Let me look a little smarter here. Like, hard to see. But number 10, this is going to be the only one that isn't at least 35 or 40 years old. If you're a fan of the Disney Plus, those Marvel movies, they've started making hour-long specials. They did one for Halloween, which was Werewolf by Night. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Haven't seen it yet.
It's excellent.
That's all I've heard about it. That is really good.
Well, they did another hour-long special for the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if you've ever seen those movies.
Yeah, I've seen the two.
They did a holiday special. It's lighthearted. It's fun, and I put it at number 10. It's nice to see something new for a change. Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and put it on there at number 10.
What's it called?
It's just called Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are truth in advertising. They are not trying to slip one in on you.
So Werewolf by Night was only an hour long?
Yeah, it was only an hour long.
Oh, okay.
You don't know anything about it?
Man, I know that it's not animatronic, that it's not CGI. I know that it was makeup on a man. Mm-hmm. I know it's filmed in black and white, and people say it has tons of Hammer-esque goings-on in the show. I can't wait to see it.
Do you know what other characters in there? Has anybody told you that? Mm-mm. Do you want to know?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't like surprises.
I can't even come up with a witty way of saying it. The Man-Thing's in there.
Oh no, really?
And it is awesome. It is awesome. They go straight to those 70s books, and that's where they're getting their designs for. It is so great.
Man, did they touch on Simon Garth at all?
No.
Okay.
No, they in an hour.
Okay, yeah.
But the story was easy. The story was easy for you. You don't have to watch 6 episodes to get it. But no, it's great. So
Josh Hurst says you'll love Werewolf by Night. I'm sure I will.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special is along the same lines. It's
just as good, huh?
Just as good, real easy to follow. It's real lighthearted, so that's great.
Okay, well, let's hit it with your number 9.
Number 9 is A Christmas Carol, with the leading role being Reginald Owen.
That's from 1938?
I think it is 38.
Yep.
And it is, it's pretty far down on my list. Doesn't mean I don't like it. Because, honestly, you'll attest to this, there's about 40 versions of Christmas Carol in some form or fashion, whether it be animated, be a movie, TV show. There's a lot of versions of it. I have half a dozen of them on here. But the Reginald Owen is really good. It's probably the best looking one as far as the old black and white. It's the one it was preserved. The picture quality is great.
Well, it was a huge...
it was a big budget.
Yeah.
It was a big budget. My only problem with it is Reginald Owen himself as Scrooge. I'm not a big fan of him. I like a lot of things about it. A lot of the characters that played, a lot of the smaller roles, like the Ghost of Christmas Present. But Reginald Owen himself, I wasn't a huge fan of. But I still think it's great. It's good enough to be in my top 10.
Well, the story was that they wanted John Barrymore to play that, right?
I never heard that.
And they cast Reginald Owen on John Barrymore's recommendation.
How old was John Barrymore at that time?
He might have been some.
Yeah, he would have been up there.
But he was, or was it Lionel? No, it wasn't Lionel. It was John Barrymore, and he was doing something else.
Okay.
And couldn't do it. He couldn't break from what he was doing to do this. But he's the one that recommended Reginald Owen.
Oh, okay. It's funny you mentioned Lionel Barrymore because not only do I love the movies, but I also collect the radio programs on vinyl. Mm. And Lionel Barrymore does a radio broadcast. He's the Scrooge in one of the radio broadcasts. There's a bunch of those out there. He's
the Christmas man. He's the Christmas Carol guy. Go ahead.
All right, I'm mixing up my own list here a little bit. This is a TV show depending on how old you are, there used to be a show called MASH. It lasted for about 11 years, which is about 4 years longer than the actual Korean War, which the show was based on. And it was being 11 seasons of MASH, there was probably 11 Christmas episodes. One in particular there was a character known as Winchester. This is like in the later episodes, played by David Ogden Stiers, who was always the sometimes protagonist or sometimes antagonist, but he was a kind of a sympathetic figure. And I won't go into the whole backstory, but basically everybody in the camp was mad at him, and because he didn't contribute to some big Christmas party. And come to find out, he didn't want anybody to know because, but he was actually giving all his contributions to the local Korean orphanage, and he didn't tell anybody because his family believed that charity shouldn't be celebrated.
Right.
And it always stuck with me. So that was my number. That was my number 8. My number 7. My number 7. I kind of struggled with this, but I decided I wanted to combine 3 things into one. And these aren't all made by the same people, but they're so similar, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There are 3 animated versions of A Christmas Carol that are so much alike, and they're almost hard to tell apart because they all 3 of them base the Scrooge character on Alistair Sim, who we'll get to in a minute. But there was one made in 69, one made in 71, and one made in 83. And all of these were made for TV. And
but Alistair Sim actually did the voice for one of them, didn't he?
Alistair Sim actually did the voice. We'll get back to Alistair Sim in a little bit. Alistair Sim actually did the voice for the one in 1971. I'm not going to break down each one, but they're all about the same length. One's a little bit longer than the other, but they were both made for TV. They clock in around 45 minutes, so it's like an hour once you add in commercials. Man,
I'm kind of drawing a blank on the 83 one.
The 83 one is the one that I saw the most because I was raised in the 80s, and it's probably it's the one that I think has the jippiest animation because it kind of looks like Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah,
but I still like it a lot. But the one from like 70, the one from 69 and 71, I swear to God, the Jacob Marley, one of those, I forget what you...
I want to ask you something about that.
Yeah.
Which is the one where Jacob Marley looked like Eddie from Iron Maiden?
That's what I was getting ready to say. I want to say it's the first one. It's the one from 69.
Now, the other one from 71 had... The drawing on it was incredible. It looked like pencil drawing, and it moved constantly.
Yes.
And the Jacob Marley, that's the first one where you see where he takes the kerchief off his head and his jaw is flipping open.
His jaw flips real far down.
I got goosebumps talking about it. As a kid, that's scary, man. And I'm watching this stuff by myself. There's no one. It wasn't a family gathering. They just throw me in front of the TV. Here, watch this Christmas cartoon, and that happens. And I'm just like, God.
The one from 83 is real good. In fact, it was part of a series because I remember they would show that one. But then they also, when it wasn't Christmas time, they would show Oliver Twist, which was made by the same production company, and it was timed around the same.
Didn't that same company do Sleepy Hollow?
Probably. In fact, I want to say they did. There was a whole VHS thing you could buy back in the 90s or 80s. Of course, I didn't buy it because I got better things to do. But it was. I almost would guarantee that Sleepy Hollow was in that.
Are those on DVD now?
No, not that I've ever seen, but they're on YouTube. In fact, all three of the ones I'm talking about for my number 7. If you go on YouTube and type in A Christmas Carol animated, it'll be those 3 will be in the first 4 things you see, and they're great.
So you hear that? If you want to see some of this stuff we're talking about, this is stuff we grew up with now. And I know a lot of you out there are the same age as us, and you probably know exactly what we're talking about. But if not, and you want to look it up, take Jeff's advice, go to YouTube, type that in, and you'll see them. They're not very long, so
no, they
it's not an ordeal.
They average an hour, give or take a couple minutes.
Okay.
Number 6. I'm not even going to give a big preamble. It's A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the one that I'm trying to think of a right way to say. It's Christmas in aesthetic only. There's not a lesson to be learned or anything, but it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife, we watch it. Me and my wife Dusty, we watch it, and we are howling laughing. Especially whenever he goes into the parts where he's imagining things, where he's shooting at the burglars, or whenever he's blind. Any of that stuff, we just fall over laughing.
I'll tell you, I love Darren McGavin anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But him in that role is hilarious. Man, I went and saw this movie in the theater when it first came to theaters in '83. Or 82, whatever it was.
83.
Oh, was it? Okay.
83.
But the faces he makes in reaction to things, like when the little kid, Ralphie, or not Ralphie, but the little kid is under the sink.
Yeah.
And he comes out from under the sink. Darren's reading his newspaper, and he just kind of looks over the paper and just kind of goes, and man, that part makes me howl. Because I understand that.
Well, you know, that whole type of character, Red Foreman, the Archie Bunker, that all kind of comes from the same place, and they're so relatable. Yeah. And I can relate with everybody in that show, because my mom did the same way. My mom put soap in our mouth whenever we cussed. I mean, all that stuff.
My brother could tell a great story about that.
Oh, yeah? I think we all have got stories of eating soap.
Not me. I was a good kid.
Perfect angel. We'll move on. This one right here will probably... I don't know if you would know about this or not. Did you ever watch The Simpsons?
Yeah.
The Simpsons, for people who might not know this, actually, you know, it's one of the longest running TV shows of all time. But it started off as animated segments for a sketch show called The Tracy Ullman Show. The Tracy Ullman Show. Yeah. Those animated vignettes, they were way more popular than the show ever was, and the show's still running today. It started in like '88, I think.
How many seasons does it have?
Oh God, going on 30 or 40 now. Yeah. But the very first show that they made, whenever they were breaking away from the Tracy Ullman Show, was called the Simpsons Christmas Special. Mm. It was a Simpsons Christmas, and I liked it when I saw it, but to be honest with you, I saw it years later, not many years ago, after having not seen it for 20 or 30 years, and I loved it because, to me, it encapsulates... Here's where I start talking, with my glasses. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm real smart. It encapsulates, to me, what Christmas is about. And I won't go into it if you haven't seen it. But basically, Homer is running short on funds. Which they did that in a Christmas Vacation, a couple of movies like that. It's not a new premise, but they go and they hawk the TV. Did they hawk the TV? I forget. But he goes to the track to try to the dog racing track, as if there's dog racing tracks everywhere. Mm-hmm. To put all the money on Santa's Little Helper, and they realize that this is a sign. Santa's Little Helper, that was there for us. We're going to win. Christmas is going to be great. Going to have all this money. Santa's Little Helper finishes last, and the owner of Santa's Little Helper throws him out the door, and Homer has to go home and tell his family there's no Christmas this year.
All right.
Except Santa's Little Helper follows them home. The kids don't even care about the gifts. They have a dog. They have a new family member, and to me that encapsulates Christmas, or at least my Christmas.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna get a little too sappy here. That was number 5. 4, 3, and 2 can switch up depending on what I'm doing. You know how that goes, and it'll change probably before I even get out the door. But one of the best Christmas carols is that George C. Scott one from 1983.
I agree.
It is damn near perfect. It looks good. Everybody in that movie it's got David Warner, who is he's been in Hammer movies. He was in
Played
The
Bob
Exorcist.
Cratchit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He played Bob. He'd been in. He was in Satanic Rites of Dracula. He was in the Omen.
Yep.
He was in Time Bandits. And so many people.
He's a damn good actor.
He's a great actor. He just died like last year.
Yeah, recently.
Like last year, within a year, maybe even this year. But that movie is great. It was made for TV, like they all are. It would probably be higher. I would probably put it at my number one, except one thing. It's got one little thing I can't get past. I love George C. Scott, but he's the only guy in the movie that doesn't have a British accent. Everybody, even young Scrooge has a British accent. But when he gets older, everybody around him was talking with a British accent. He just sounds.
Well,
like,
you know what? He was probably like, "Man, I'm George C. Scott. What the hell you want
that's
me to
exactly what he's like. I'm here for 3 days filming this thing. I'm not gonna work up a British accent. I'm assuming that's what he thought. But I love George C. Scott. I love Patton.
I like George C. Scott.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of great movies.
I think that would be, if this were my 10, that would be my number one. I think.
Whenever I'm watching it, I always throw it high up the list. But yeah, that is almost perfect. The casting on it is almost perfect. It's a beautiful movie. Number 3 for this list is Miracle on 34th Street. It is a sappy 1940s comedy, but
with a very young Natalie Wood.
Very young Natalie Wood, rest in peace. Maureen O'Hare with her, back in the 40s with every woman had the big shoulder pads like football players.
And the slight English accent.
The slight English accent. That was a great movie, and a little trivia about that. It actually was released in July. It was not released in Christmas time, and the posters of it had no mention of Christmas because they didn't want to confuse everybody. And it did pretty good, but they re-released it, 3 or 4 months later. But yeah, it was not originally released as a Christmas movie. So if you see old pictures of it or of the promo posters, there's no mention of Christmas. So that was real good.
I didn't know that. That's cool. That's a cool fact.
All right, my number 2. This might surprise you a little bit. That is not my number 1. Alistair Sims, A Christmas Carol. That movie to me is my favorite Christmas Carol, and I'll be honest with you, for only one reason, and that's Alistair Sims. He is the Ebenezer Scrooge. He is the best Scrooge. That there is no copy of that movie that exists today that looks good. Like it all looks like a Xerox copy because it's not been preserved.
All right.
But that is my favorite movie. He nails it, and I like everybody else in the movie, but he is the standout of that movie. And 2 things I'll tell you about that. First off, one of the production assistants that works on the movie was a guy named Clive Donner.
Yeah.
Clive Donner was the director of the George C. Scott one.
Oh, really?
It's the same guy. Yeah, there's that connection there. And also, if you have a DVD copy of it, chances are there's probably an intro at the beginning of it by a guy named Pat McEnany. Pat McEnany was a character actor, British character actor, who you might recognize. He's barely in A Christmas Carol, but he also played Sir Eaton Hogg in this is Spinal Tap, and he also played one of the werewolves in A Howling. In Howling. So I think it's kind of neat. You got
that is pretty cool.
You got a guy that does that.
I've got a DVD copy and has a colorized version with it.
Yeah, does it?
Yeah.
You enjoy that? I don't like.
I don't like colorized black and white movies.
No, and I don't like. And and now they try to push it like well, it's 2022. They look so much better colorized now. They don't.
No, it doesn't.
No, they don't look better. I promise you that. Let's get this list going. So you have 2 other lists to go through. But my number 1 Christmas movie, and it has been this way the whole time, is It's a Wonderful Life.
Great movie.
To me, that is everything that not only Christmas is about, but what life is about. It ain't about what you have or what you're doing. It's about the people around you.
Yep.
And I use that movie as a model to appreciate everybody that is important to me.
I love that movie.
And I say that if you watch that whole movie and you get to the part where George Bailey was about to commit suicide, and then he finds out the world's a much different place without him, and then he comes back and he realizes that he's got a second chance. Mm-hmm. And he don't even care he's getting ready to go to prison. Mm-hmm. He's just happy to see his family. Mm-hmm. And the door busts open, and the whole goddamn town comes in with money, just stacks of cash, just throwing them at him, telling how they wouldn't have a roof over their head if it wasn't for you, George.
Yep. And
he's just overcome. If you can watch that movie and you don't even get a little bit of a lump in your throat, you ain't coming to my Christmas party. I don't understand people that see that part of that movie and don't get a little bit choked up. And I've been watching that movie every Christmas Eve for as long as I can remember.
We want to watch it this season. We've already watched our favorites: the George C. Scott Christmas Carol, Christmas Vacation, Christmas Story. And even though it's not really a Christmas movie, we always, because the First Lady, one of her favorite movies of all time, we like to watch The Sound of Music.
Yeah, they just come on the other day.
Yeah, well, we got Blu-ray of it.
You know, it's weird. It's not a Christmas movie, but it is a Christmas tradition. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. And so that being said, mentioning the first, thank you for that list. A very, very good list. I was going to make it different because I was going to have the First Lady do her 10 favorite Christmas songs, or Jeff Williams does his 10 favorite Christmas TV show. I was going to do 5 of each. But when I found out the First Lady wouldn't be able to make it, I went ahead and did my list of songs, but then she gave me her list. So I'm going to read her list out real quick. And I'm going to tell you what, she is an avid collector of those old 60s and 70s Christmas records, like, for instance, the Firestones records, the compilations on those public domain labels, and the ones that like the department stores would put out.
Oh yeah,
on their own. True Value Hardware.
Even KFC got in the game.
Right.
KFC has about 3 of them. Yeah.
But this is her top 10 list. I'm assuming she wrote 1 down to 10. So I'm going to start with number 10. And this is one on my list. Merry Christmas. I Don't Want to Fight Tonight by the Ramones. Perfect Christmas song in my book. Home for the Holidays by Robert Goulet. See what I'm talking about? And she fills the house with this stuff every year. And I really enjoy it. I really do. That's talking about The Sound of Music. The Lonely Goat Herder by Julie Andrews. Oh Holy Night by Josh Groden.
I will say, I could make a list just of different versions of Oh Holy Night.
Oh Holy Night.
Yeah.
Right. Wexford Carol, also by Julie Andrews. She's a big Julie Andrews fan. I think you are too. And I am. Yeah. And this would be one of my favorite. I didn't list it in mine, but if I was doing 11 to 20, Happy Holidays by Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet would definitely be in there. I love that song. Wizards in Winter by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. No fucking way that whole orchestra's trans.
I saw the same meme. Polly.
Yeah, Polly. Yeah.
Is that the song? Is it instrumental?
Yes.
It's like, da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. I actually saw somebody play that night live.
Really? Who?
Mr. Steve Wenzel.
Oh, he played at his church.
Yeah, he played at his church. I went and saw it. Steve's the guitar. Steve's my guitar god, and that guy can play anything, and he knocked that out of the park.
All right, her number 3, Getting in the Mood for Christmas by Brian Setzer. Now, I know a lot of you know who that is. Brian Setzer. Are we still going? I haven't seen anything move in the last little bit. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Let me know we're still alive.
Mike Throw's watching.
Mike Throw, are you on there? Hit a thumbs up or something. Man, I don't know if we're on.
They heard me talking about It's a Wonderful Life, and they're
Yeah.
like, "There's no
Like the
GG
Bales.
stories. There's no GG stories."
Yeah,
in
there's
here."
no GG stories tonight. Can someone please give us something? Let us know we're still on.
Hey, your little counter's changing. Does that matter?
Yeah, I guess it's. I don't know if anyone's hearing us or not, but okay. Are we froze? I don't know. I don't know if we're. Yeah, check it on there, Jeff. See if we're still live. Okay, all right. We got some thumbs up. Here they come.
Okay.
Here they come. All
Thanks,
right,
Mike.
good. Josh Hurst, let us know. Someone just said head cat. I have no idea why, but because of Brian Setzer. Okay, keep going. All right, here we go. Second, number 2 for the first ladies. Sleigh Ride by the author Fielder. Fielder, Boston Pops Orchestra. And her number 1, We Need a Little Christmas. Percy Faith and his orchestra and chorus. We have a lot of Percy Faith in the First Lady Christmas record collection.
She likes good stuff.
Yeah. You ready to hear mine right quick?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, you talk about, what would Gigi say? Oh, y'all going to hear it now. I'll tell you that right now. And you know what? I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you something, Jeff. I was, most of my childhood, I was raised in a Methodist church.
Mm-hmm.
A small country Methodist church in New London, North Carolina. And back then, our family was big. We had, all of our grandparents were here. All the aunts and uncles, the cousins. And when we got together every Christmas Day, and it was always a really wonderful time. And but then things happen. Deaths, divorces. The families get even bigger when the kids have kids, and then grandkids, and then everyone starts branching off. I mean, it's just a natural progression. It just happens. No, it wasn't like someone said, "No more family Christmas." It was just, it just kind of happened.
I refer to that as the crumble.
Yeah, the crumble, and it does happen. And
Yeah.
it's sad. But during the crumble, hopefully, you build it back up in some way, shape, or form with your own group of people. But a lot of my favorite Christmas songs come from hearing the choir at Bethel United Methodist Church in New London, North Carolina during the part of the 60s, most of the 70s, all the 80s, all the way up until about 81 or 80. And they play a very big part in my favorite Christmas song, because a lot of Christmas songs depress me.
I get that.
Because they're kind of melancholy.
There's a real melancholy. To me, my favorite ones have a melancholy aspect to them. Still love them, but I get you. They can border on depressing.
Now, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with mine, okay? Number 10, Do You Hear What I Hear? One that was always sang in the church. And when you hear, when I hear people on some of First Lady's records and stuff do it, the song still affects me to this day. Just like number 9, O Come All Ye Faithful. One of my favorites.
It's a good one.
Number 8, Joy to the World.
That's the one I like singing when I was in church.
Not, and this is not the Joy to the World made popular by Three Dog Night.
No, there's no Chuck
Written
D.
by
Ryan.
Hoyt Axton, more than likely. I don't know if that's a... Someone don't go, damn, Jack Wade, you don't know your facts, son. That wouldn't... but I think it is. I'm not sure. Number 7. I know you're a big fan of this one because you covered this one.
Yep.
Made popular by Chuck Berry, Run, Run, Rudolph. I like Chuck Berry's version of that. To me, it's happy. I like happy Christmas songs. Which is why number 6, I like Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight by the Ramones. I mean, it's not a very happy situation that you have to say, I don't want to fight tonight.
Well, if the Ramones were going to do a Christmas song, that is the perfect. I mean, that fits their. It sounds like the Ramones, and it is that dark sense of humor that the Ramones are so associated with, and I love that Christmas song.
Hey man, have you a swig of some Break On Through Brew?
My first time.
Yeah, Break On Through Brew, everybody. Number 5, and you might think this one would be higher on my list, but man, once you get to 6 and up above, it's like it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, But one of my favorite Christmas songs of all time, man, number 5 for me on this list today, is by the Royal Guardsmen, Snoopy's Christmas, which ANTiSEEN recorded a version of that, and we put out a 12-inch single of it, backed with our very first and only original Christmas song called Christmas 76. Jeff Williams took part in Snoopy's Christmas with us. He was the voice of the Red Baron.
Big honor for me.
Yeah, we had some other folks on there. Tesco V, P.P. DeVay, formerly of the Murder Junkies, Jeff Dahl. Hold on. No, Jerry wasn't on that.
You went on that one?
But a lot of ANTiSEEN alumni from the past. But number 4, James Brown's Soulful Christmas. I just get really happy every time I hear that. Now this one is going to be... Some of y'all are going to say, what would you think 15 times in a row when you hear this one? And much to my surprise, if I were doing 11 to 20 Hall & Oates doing Jingle Bell Rock. Did they do Jingle Bell Rock?
I don't know.
Yeah. They do a Christmas song, but it's really good. But number 3 for me, The Waitresses, Christmas Rapping. That is such a wonderful song.
And also, to me, they're known for that song, I Know What Boys Like. Mm-hmm. I like that song better.
I do too.
I think that song's
It's a way better song.
And
you could play this, like, I wonder if they played this live, not at Christmas.
I'm not sure.
I don't know that much about them other than, the singer died of cancer. And I know they had out at least 2 records, maybe.
I think so. And I was listening to that recently, and I got real amazed at how intricate the bass was.
Oh, that girl who played bass for them was good. That band was good.
And she's been playing with... Well, she's played with a bunch of people, but she now plays with the B-52s, and it has been there since the 80s.
Oh, okay.
So,
now, this one, my number 2, another one from the church, but I can tell you where it really had a lasting effect on me. The Christmas Carols cartoons that you were talking about earlier. The one from 71.
Mm-hmm.
It has the song God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen in it. And for some reason, even as a young kid, the scene where it shows the fisherman out on the boat alone, apparently, it looked like, steering in the middle of a storm, he's singing this song as the ghost of Christmas Present is taking Scrooge around to say, like, look, people are celebrating Christmas in their own ways, the best way they know how, all over the world right now, because look, I'm taking you and show you. And that's where that song really had an effect on me.
In all of those Christmas Carol movies, there's either God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen or Hark the Herald is being sang. One of those two songs is being sang on the street as Scrooge is getting ready to come by and bust up the party.
My number one, I love this song, and man, I wish there had been a recording of the Bethel Choir from around 76 or 77 of doing this one. It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. That glorious song of old.
You know what's funny? Is that, I don't want to get too religious, but, you got a couple heathens here, and all of our favorite Christmas songs are religious and spiritual in nature.
Well, things do happen in life, and you do start seeing things different as you get older. And I'm about as old as you can get before being old as hell. Some may consider me old as hell already.
Well, something I didn't want to... We joke about, and you do it occasionally, you joke about, what would Gigi say? I never met Gigi. But I almost bet you Gigi probably had a list too.
Probably. Well, Gigi did a Christmas song.
He did a Christmas song.
He did his own version of the 12 Days of Christmas. But, well, damn, Jeff, I was real pleased to have you on here today.
Man, I've been excited and nervous all at the same time today.
Why are you nervous, man? Everybody had a good time listening to Jeff Williams, didn't you? I know you did. I want to have you back sometime where we can talk about the stuff that people are more
punk rock stuff.
More
heavy
punk rock,
metal.
more metal, more horror movies, more kung fu.
Anytime.
Stuff like that.
I like when you have
being
guests.
mean to people.
We have that in spades. I love when you have guests on here, and I was thinking about on the way over. When Mondo was here, I love when Tripp's here. I think you and Tripp could actually have a show where you just talk about toys, or where you talk in your own language with each other. But I got to tell you, if you ever get laryngitis, you just have George South on.
Oh, all I have to do is just get out one question, and George will take it the rest of the show. That's one of the many things I love about the guy. I really do.
I think George is great. I run into him in Concord occasionally. That's where I live. If I was a rich man who came upon a big stack of cash in some sort of sweepstakes or lottery, I believe that I would hire George South to do nothing but shame people for saying and asking stupid shit.
Man, I love his term goofs.
I love that. and I don't know if George is a tatted man, but he needs to incorporate that word goofs everywhere he goes now. And I'm not gonna trash. I think most bands that play music of our caliber wish that we had the loyalty of the ANTiSEEN crowd. And I cannot say anything bad about the ANTiSEEN crowd, but I will say this as someone who is on the other side of the camera just watching. Every once in a blue moon, somebody asks something stupid, like, "Can we get all expenses paid if we come see you?"
Yeah, we'll get right on that.
And when I saw that, I was like, "Where's George South when you need him?" Just to go after this guy.
Well, I kind of had you and Malcolm Temp both kind of talking me down from that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I'm not the only person you talk to, but a lot of times whenever you get something kind of left field on here, I know that I get the text or the call every once in a while about, like, can you believe that what this person said or what that person said? So just keep that in mind before you put something that he is judging you. You might not say it, but...
Well, it's about time for us to wrap it up, Jeff Williams of Stop Talking.
Wow, that's good. Stop Talking. I was told to plug that a couple times.
Well, you need to. Stop Talking is a brilliant band. And on my recommendation, I've shown their record on here several times because I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of my friend here for putting out a very top shelf, high quality product. And I think anyone that likes the kind of stuff that most of us on here all like in one way, shape, or form, I think you will all enjoy this record. And do old Jeff Williams a favor for Christmas and go to his Stop Talking site page, Facebook page. Order their album. You got to have it in your collection, man. One day you're going to be, damn, I could have got that damn Stop Talking record back when he was showing up on Break On Through and all that, but I slept on it. Now them things are going for, $750 a piece. Get it now. Don't buy it on the second-hand collector's market. Get it now. Brand new copy. I bet Jeff Williams even signed it for you. The other two guys in the band, he might even be able to get them to sign it too. I don't know. Am I getting too deep in here? But
well, I will say you've gone. You do this for a lot of people. You've gone above and beyond helping me out with releases that I put out. With that and the Rancid Vat record, you helped me get rid of a lot of the Rancid Vat records, and I appreciate that.
He's the guy behind Radio Rampage coming out on vinyl. That's his record, his label. Stop Talking, same thing. Biggy Stardust record, same thing. He did that one.
Scatboy Records.
Dead Kings. Y'all, maybe some of you know the Dead. He was the head honcho in the Dead Kings too.
That doesn't mean I'm a label looking to put anything out, so don't hit me up with your
and by the way, all bands, please contact Jeff Williams and tell him you're interested in him and him hearing all your new material, all 7 hours of it. Merry Christmas.
I appreciate it. I'll be here. I'll be here on Christmas Day, and I'll just play my new songs for you.
Okay. Well, Jeff Williams, a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
As always. And I would like for you to hold up your Break On Through Brew, and we want to wish every one of you out there in Break On Through land a very Merry Christmas. And we are going to have us one hell of a happy new year in 2023. Year 40 for ANTiSEEN. It's going to be like you've never ever seen. Toast.
Merry Christmas.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good rest of your week. Have a great Christmas. We'll see you next Tuesday.